Welcome to the show. I'm Edward St. Pé. Tonight, a great show for you, I believe. We've got Dr. Walters, Wilbur Walters, from the Meteorology Department. He's an Associate Dean of the Sciences here at Jackson State, and he will be talking about the new broadcast meteorology program that we're underway with, where the young folks who are in the science department studying meteorology now have one extra component to the program. They can matriculate on into our studio and learn how to put it together as a broadcast meteorologist, learn how to get in front of the chroma key and the various skills for on-air weather. So that opens up other career opportunities. And it's a fun project that we're involved in here every day at the university, at the E-Center at 1230 Raymond Road, where our studio is located. Also tonight, we're going to meet a man you've probably seen many times on television, Jerry Lake. He is the proprietor and the president over at Carter Jewelers in town, and he's a diamond merchant, and he knows all about the diamonds. But there's another side to Mr. Jerry Lake that you may not have ever seen, and it's him away from the business of diamond sales, just as a person. So we're going to meet Jerry Lake, and we're going to talk to him in a little bit too. So stay with us. We'll be right back with our program after these important messages.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is hand-picked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Ingalls Shipbuilding is hiring electricians, structural welders, machinists, ship fitters, pipe fitters, and pipe welders in our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Signing bonuses available for pipe welders only. Positions are union represented. Come build your career with Ingalls Shipbuilding. Go to www.huntingtoningalls.com/careers or call 888-935-1507.
Well, I'd like to welcome Dr. Wilbur Walters. Dr. Wilbur, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Now, you and I have worked together on trying to get this thing formulated now for a while, haven't we?
We have.
And it's finally, this semester, we have the beginnings of it.
Yeah.
Where we have students coming in.
I think we've laid down a good foundation, a good track, pulling together, and you've been working with the students. But I think this will be that semester where we really formalize this partnership, and, and we are excited about it.
Well, me too. You know, Jackson State is really unique in a way, because the meteorology program that you have here and have had for maybe over 20 years now. Mm-hmm. That program is a real meteorology science-based program, and there are not many of those around the South in general.
Absolutely. The program actually will be celebrating 35 years coming up next year, and there's going to be a big celebration about that. But you're right, this program is certified. It's by the government. It's one of the real meteorology programs, hard sciences, and students that leave the program are qualified to be meteorologists upon leaving.
So, okay, now we're going to segue into the idea of adding the broadcast component to it, which is what we're doing now. So, when you look at what we're undertaking now, what is your vision of the broadcast side of the program?
Exciting. I think from the beginning when we first started talking, and this the concept came about. We're taking students who understand the meteorology, and now they're able to get in front of the camera, not just getting in front of the camera, but getting in front of the camera with you, a very seasoned professional in this area. And once you pull that together, you have students that know the sciences, but they're able to deliver it to the community. And how important is that? I see the door being wide open for students who want to play in the science side, but also want to work on the broadcast meteorology side.
I know what it takes to be the science side. It takes a very smart young person, because it's a very tough curriculum. But on the other side, now we've got the artistic, the art group coming in, and so it's sort of emerging. Now we've got both sides of the equation in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of an exciting thing to be undertaking here.
It is, because now those students who are just traditionally relied on the science side, they've got to pull out their creative side. They've got to know a totally another side of professionalism. So, but we're happy to have you here teaching them.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm happy to be here, and it's been fun so far. Now, last semester we had students coming in, and now it's formalized, as you mentioned, and we've got students here, and basically their laboratory consists of getting in front of the chroma key and putting their shows together and working through the whole process. The digitizing of the files, that's something also we're going to be working on, where they're not only producing their show and going on the air, but then they're digitizing the files and then uploading them to the server, so to complete the process of distribution to TV stations, for example, for what we do here at Weather Vision, for example. So anyway, it's a very exciting time. Vivian Brown came recently from the Weather Channel, and she's a graduate of Jackson State Meteorology Program, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Now, when she was here, over probably a couple of decades ago, there was no broadcast side, but she somehow found her way into television anyway, and she's been at the Weather Channel for, I guess, for quite, well, over 2 decades probably.
Yep.
And she's still there.
And she's still there.
And so it was great. She came, and they produced a story when she came, and they showed it on the Weather Channel, and I think we have a copy of that. If we can, let's take a look at Vivian Brown's recent visit to Jackson State Meteorology.
And today we shone the spotlight on a prominent historically black university in Mississippi. It produced NFL Hall of Fame running back Walter Payton, and it's also made a name for itself in the weather world as well.
Yeah, our own Vivian Brown knows all about it firsthand.
This is Jackson State, the first historically black university in the country to offer a Bachelor of Science degree in meteorology.
I am very proud of the program here at Jackson State. I mean, when you look at the history and the legacies that have been put out, you see that the students are all over the country doing things in meteorology, which is a very unique field.
JSU's meteorology program has a broad focus that includes weather modification, mesoscale meteorology, and satellite communications. And impressively, a quarter of all black meteorologists in the country have graduated from Jackson State.
And it's also my alma mater, and I'm excited to see the future come into focus for the next generation of African-American meteorologists.
Like freshmen Lynetta Mallory and Alexis Floyd, they've chosen the same path that I did in hopes of forecasting weather on television.
I just want to be a broadcast meteorologist, whatever, like something that makes me happy. So if I get on TV soon, that'll be great. But if I can work behind the scenes, to be like a researcher, that would be great too.
Weather is a passion of mine because I always wanted to be a meteorologist ever since I was a little girl. And seeing them on TV and seeing them outside, it's just like, that's going to be me one day.
There's not really a lot of people, actually African Americans, that come out and be like, oh, I want to be a meteorologist. And it's so hard to go through physics and all the math in college and everything.
So let's look toward the camera and say hello. Thanks for watching. Students get additional hands-on experience at Weather Vision, a satellite and studio uplink center that produces weather forecasts for TV stations around the country.
I did a demo for them once, and it was pretty confusing at first. Can I restart?
No, it's all right.
So I'm like, ooh, I'm here. But it was just take a lot of practice, and I'll just get it one day.
And Lynetta and I have something else in common, too.
I was a sprinter, long jumper, and high jumper on the track team, while Lynetta throws the shot put and discus.
I believe that you are an inspiration to me because I never knew that you were a track athlete until I attended Jackson State. And just to see you push through being a student athlete, I believe that I can do the same as well, and I can make my dreams come true.
The pride that we take in knowing that Vivian Brown is on the Weather Channel, that pride will probably be escalated if we're able to get Lynetta to even follow in her footsteps of joining the Weather Channel, because then we can say it's not just a one-off incident, right? Look, we can replicate it over and over again.
So, as you can see, that's a little national press about the program. That must make you feel pretty proud, I would say.
Very warm inside, very warm, especially to see Vivian Brown, one of our alumni, and then to see our students in action. It makes me feel very warm inside.
And those students are into their second semester with us here, and of course, you know, when it was funny, when they got here, of course, you know, very green, you know, standing in front of the green wall. But it doesn't take long for them to get a grip on it and to start performing, you know, and get, I guess, the nerves leave, and you can get a handle on where you are in front of that chroma key, you know.
Yeah, and I can tell you, coming back from the summer, they were ready to get back at it. So,
yeah. Now, going forward, we're hoping that as we get a little bit of publicity out there and people find out about the broadcast side of it, we'll have more students coming into the program, and that's the objective, to bring more meteorologists, more students of meteorology into the program, and also the broadcast side, right?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely, this partnership, I think is going to create a lot of buzz. And the idea is that the students are getting not only practice, but this is real time. That was one of the things that when we first started talking, you really sold the fact that this is real time. This is actual weather that's going on. And so the students having that pressure to say that, hey, we're doing a real forecast, or we're doing a real broadcast, is very important, and I think it's going to build them.
Right. I would think that by the end of this semester, some of those students will, you know, we'll try to get them where they'll be doing demo tapes that will be of professional caliber, you know, and so, you know, when in this business of television weather, it's always good to have a really good demo tape, you know, and that's sort of the objective. By the time they finish with this program, when they graduate, not only to be a scientist of meteorology, but also have a calling card, a demo tape that is a professional caliber, you know, and really it's wide open to them, whether it be an affiliate station or perhaps even a network, you know. So if anybody out there watching us would like more information on the program, is there a phone number in the meteorology department that they can call to inquire about broadcast meteorology program?
Yeah, they can call the Department of Physics, Atmospheric Sciences, and Geosciences. The number is 601-979-7012.
And of course, you can always email me, edward@weathervision.com, and that's an email that I can forward back to the physics department. And if you have an interest in becoming a broadcast or TV meteorologist, not only do you get the science at Jackson State, but also now you can train in the television side too, and you have both, which is an unbeatable combination as far as getting ready to get a job in the field. So, Dr. Wilbur Walters, thank you for being with us, and I appreciate it, Doc. As always, it's good to see you, and thank you for being with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. Well, I'm with Mr. Jerry Lake, and Jerry, thank you for coming to the program.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Jerry, now we feel like we know you. We see you every day on television with the Carter Jeweler spots, and but there's another side to you. You are also a real person.
Well, I hope so.
I mean, how long have you been in the diamond sales business?
I got into the diamond jewelry business in November of 1974 in New York. I was at the time I was needing a job, and anyway, there was a company that had been in business forever, and they wanted somebody completely outside of the industry to hire, and that they would train from the bottom up in diamonds and gemology, and also in their sales techniques. And anyway, they interviewed me, and the guy, he seemed to like me, and he wanted me to take a test, some kind of an aptitude test, and the test was quite lengthy. It was hours long, and I had the feeling that I had done poorly on this aptitude test that somebody had engineered or made up. And so I felt so strongly about it that I actually accepted another job because I thought I had bombed this test, which and so you know, I get home, and at the time I was in Pensacola, Florida. The next day, I get a phone call from the diamond. The name of the company was J.R. Wood Art Carved Company, and back then they were strictly in the diamonds and fancy bands business. He called me. This guy's name was Metaxas, and he told me that I did quite well on the test. He said, in fact, you scored the highest of anybody that has ever taken the test. And I said, well, what a surprise. And I said, well, you know, I guess I should be flattered about that. But I said, I didn't have a good feeling about the test, and I had another real good job offer, and I accepted the other job offer. And I wished he had given me a call a little bit earlier.
So you never took that job?
Well, no. What happened was he actually increased the pay, and he wanted me to think about it. And he said, since you have not officially accepted your other job, he said at least get, and you're not supposed to report for some days. He said, think about it. And so I thought about it, and he called me back, and he made the deal a little bit sweeter. And so I called my good friend with it was Ciro Shirt Company, and I told him that I had a change of heart about the job, and another job offer that was seemed to be a lot better. And anyway, that's how I got into the jewelry business.
So did
diamond business.
You didn't plan on being in the jewelry business at the beginning?
At the time, I felt like I was kind of like a fish out of water. I graduated from the University of Alabama. I didn't have any. Well, I did have one friend in the jewelry business, a mutual friend in Paducah, Kentucky, and I called him just to make sure this company was 100% for real. And he told me that it was one of the best jewelry companies in the United States, and that he said he would advise me to accept that job offer, and I did, and that's how I got in the jewelry business. That's probably more information than you wanted, but that is how I got in.
So okay, now let's segue all these years. Carter Jewelers. That's your own store.
Yes.
You've been there. How long have you been operating Carter Jewelers?
I used to sell to Carter Jewelers as I used to sell them diamonds and diamond jewelry. The owner of Carter Jewelers got Alzheimer's, and I had transitioned myself from being more of an importer, diamond importer, and a wholesaler, where I sold to jewelers, wholesalers, and retailers all over the country for over 20 years or so, and I had kind of gotten into the diamond jewelry liquidation business. And anyway, this store I found out was up for sale, and my good friend Lee Letwinger, who owned it, had Alzheimer's, and to make a long story short, they had already sold the business to some other people, but it turned out that they didn't have a good reputation, and they had already violated the terms of the contract, and they said they would much rather I buy it than this other company. I'm not going to call their name. And so, as it turned out, I was able to come up with the money to buy it, and I bought it in actually it was November. I think it was November 2nd of 1997 that I closed on Carter Jewelers.
So that was your foray into retail.
That was my entrance into the retail business, and having been in the wholesale end of it all my life, I thought maybe I'd also liquidated jewelry businesses, but it was like a whole nother business. I really I learned a lot of things and found out actually how much I didn't know from these guys who had maybe been in the retail side of it all their lives. I had to learn a lot.
So now that you've been in retail these years, do you find it fulfilling? I mean, I know that we've talked in the past that people come in and their whole lives are, they're getting married, it's a new start, and they're buying a wedding ring, what have you.
It can be a real fun and fulfilling thing, because you're meeting with people at their happiest moments. They're in love and they're wanting to get married, and a diamond or a diamond ring is a symbol of love, and also it represents to a lot of people just how much love you have for that person, and it goes to your what your taste is, and it's kind of a down payment on a marriage contract.
Right.
An engagement
They
ring.
say diamonds are a girl's best friend. Do you subscribe to that theory?
Well, it would probably be in bad taste. It'd be in bad taste for someone to give money on a marriage contract, but they can give a nice diamond. So in a sense, it is. It's something she gets that's hers forever.
Right.
So
now, I
yes,
want you
that's
to,
true,
I want you to come back when we have a whole show to dedicate to this. You can see how fast a segment goes on this show. Jerry Lake Carter Jewelers, thank you for coming, and we'll be right back after this.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Yeah, I'm a roach whisperer. I've just always had a way with them. Now, roaches are stubborn, nasty insects, and sometimes you just gotta be forceful with them. Ah, roach, be gone. You're not welcome here, roach.
There is a better way. Bengal Roach Spray. No odor, no mess, no roaches. Bengal roach spray really works.
And if whispering don't work, I always got my backup plan.
Ingalls Shipbuilding is hiring electricians, structural welders, machinists, ship fitters, pipe fitters, and pipe welders in our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Signing bonuses available for pipe welders only. Positions are union represented. Come build your career with Ingalls Shipbuilding. Go to www.huntingtoningalls.com/careers or call 888-935-1507.
Well, it's really nice to have you on the show, Jerry. Jerry Lake from Carter Jewelers in downtown Jackson. How long has Carter Jewelers been around?
Carter Jewelers was established in 1847, a long time ago.
So
and I'm the fourth owner. Each owner had the store approximately, give or take, 50 years. I won't have it that long, but I have a son that's in the business, so, you know, it's he's interested in buying it from me, and I'm interested in selling it.
Well, if you are around in 50 years, we'll be what, 140 at that point. So you'll be the oldest proprietor of a jewelry store. Okay, thank you for being with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
See you next time on Nightique.